I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't
God.
that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up, I'm home. Whoa!
1-1 pitch, hit in the air, very deep to left field. Laureano going to turn and watch, and there is some of that sock that you're talking about. First home run of the spring for Andrew Vaughn, a no-doubter, and a 2-0 lead for the Brewers here in the first. Williams puts a charge into that one, trying to find the alleyway in left center field, and he will. Sanchez has scored. Hamilton is racing home. Williams is on his way to third base. It is a 2-run triple. Lockridge underneath of that one out to deep left field. Reyes tracking it and into the bullpen. That's gone in a home run. So Brandon Lockridge returning to Peoria, hitting his second home run of the spring.
I've never done play-by-play. I cannot sit here and tell you that it's easy by any means. However, what the hell was that?
Well, that was the San Diego Padres call of the Brewers kicking their butt in a spring training game.
That guy's on his way to the Masters.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah. Clearly attended by thousands and thousands of people.
What's up, Wisconsin? Happy Tuesday. Inside Wisconsin Sports. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht.
Hi.
Live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Thanks to Tommy Wartz for sitting in again on yet another Monday when I'm like, I'm good. We're good.
Yeah. Yeah, I had nothing going on.
I had a little heart test done yesterday. Everything's fine. We're going to be fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big boy, and I got it's in my head that there's something wrong with my ticker because I get these weird heartbeats. And so I just finally said to my doctor, you know what? We're just going to go look. Okay. Let's just go take a look.
Yeah.
You've got the tools. You've got the technology. Why don't we just go and get a baseline? Well, we did. We're good. Nothing to worry about. Audio there, courtesy of the Padres play-by-play network.
Padres TV network, yep.
Not so hot there in the seventh when it was 5-1 Brewers, and that's when the wheels fell off. But a good dinger from Vaughn, which is great to see because that is a stick that we didn't know existed at the beginning of last season. So it's good to know it's still around because some of these things come and some of these things go. But apparently that one's here to stay. Jet Williams, new stick, real fast, a 2-run triple. We'll go over this when we play catch-up. But nonetheless, it was 5-1 Brewers at that point. We'll let you know how it shook out from there. I wonder what that guy sounded like at the end of yesterday's game.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Hopefully he was more excited. All right, it is time to play catch-up. Here we go.
Packers.
The Packers are continuing this whole non-renewal policy thinger for season tickets and people that choose to sell them, and they're angry about that, and they're literally choosing not to renew some season tickets no matter how long they've been in the family and what the intent is. We're going to have a major morning mind dump. This one's been building. This is something they did last year, and it's back again this year, and I have thoughts. A lot of them, and I know Josh does too, and hopefully you do too. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line. Go, Josh.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting conversation, and I'm glad to have you on board for it because I feel like a lot of this is just how dumb are people being, and so I want to know if there's more to it. It'll be an interesting conversation.
That's coming up in the morning mind dump. Other than that, there's a little bit of a tease from a particular edge rusher that's real good at the social media. He put out this video yesterday, and the audio, well, let's just say it jacks you up every time.
It comes with the price tag.
Breaking news!
Micah Parsons has officially been traded.
This is where Michael Parsons is a superstar.
This is a guy that you have to change game plans for.
You don't trade players of his caliber.
I need a look.
Look out, Goffin smoke. Get
Guess who? Micah Parsons. Unbelievable rush by Parsons. Down he goes. His third sack today. He wrote that. Micah Parsons.
I don't duck nobody. I like me against anybody.
From behind. Ball is out. Micah Parsons. They chase by Parsons. He's got him. His first sack. That's a Green Bay Packers. Gets double team more than anybody. Persistent pass rusher you're ever going to see. Come on.
Very excited.
Yes. More of that, please.
Yes, that we need that in the offseason. And the team's social media accounts in our lovely state here have seriously upped their game. The Packers were not at the place they are. Micah Parsons apparently hired the right company to do his stuff. The Brewers put out a piece about Sal Frelick being a player. We'll talk about that in a little while, as we have questions about your favorite sports video game from your childhood. We'll do that later in the show. Micah Parsons hopefully back by week 1, but it was this time last year through week 1. We didn't even know we were going to have Micah Parsons, which is relative because it was this time last year that Brian Gutekunst was up in front of the media at the NFL Combine in Indianapolis, where he will speak today at 12:45, and we'll see what he has to say about what he's looking for. But prophetically, listen to Goody from last year's presser that he had at the Combine about how important the front four were and what we maybe need to be look forwarding to.
We need to affect the quarterback with 4. And how we do that kind of remains to be seen. We had good moments last year, but it just needs to be more consistent. It needs to be able to control the game, and we need to control the game and finish games off. And again, I'm excited about the guys we have in the room. We'll see if we add to it, but that's got to get better if we're going to accomplish our goals that we want to accomplish in this season.
We'll see if we add to it. Oh, they added to it.
Sure did. And then he made a hype video.
And it was awesome. So 12:45 Central Time, Goody talks today from the Combine. If it was up to Aaron Nagler from Cheesehead TV, this draft would be all about offensive linemen.
To me, it's all about the offensive line, fixing the offensive line. And there are possibilities within. There are certainly going to be guys they're going to be looking at on day 3, I would suspect. But those are the kind of names, and that's the position I'm really going to try and dig into this week.
Do you pay attention to the Combine at all, Josh?
Sure don't. Nope.
Heavy on the watch list. All right, got it. Do you at least pay attention to 40-yard dash times, or has maybe, like most things in the NFL, it's just overhyped, right?
It's just there's, even with the draft, in most situations, we don't know the results for a while. If it was a good pick, if it was a bad pick, how the pick pans out. It could be that the pick just went to a bad organization. Now I'm supposed to judge them instead based on how high they're jumping and going, oh, Packers should go get, look at that. Look at his time. No. I don't let myself go down that road and then be disappointed. It's not, I don't go there. I'm glad that there are people are, but it's not for me.
Well, and it's not as easy as it looks. You can watch one of these guys in the idea of the Combine and he's gangbusters. Then you get him into the camp and he turns into a different person.
Correct.
What do you do with that?
You cut him, usually.
Right. And then some other team signs him, Cole Van Lanen, and he ends up making $70 million.
Yeah, there's that.
Whoops. Brewers. We played some highlights there for you at the top. The Brewers had a fantastic 5 innings and really a really good first inning yesterday. Andrew Vaughn, 2-run shot. Then our new guy, Jet Williams, laces a 2-run triple. The Padres get on the board in the 4th. Then in the 7th, Brandon Lockridge hits another solo home run. And then that's when the wheels fell off.
Yeah.
And that has been the problem so far in spring training. Bjorn Johnson of the Milwaukee Brewers, who exactly 1/3 of an inning pitched, 5 earned runs, 3 walks. Have a good day. Brewers lose 7-5 and are now 0-4 in spring training. So, Josh, much like the Combine, how much Should we pay attention to spring training and get our undies in a bundle?
Yeah, this is such a fun conversation that took place yesterday when they were 0-3 of why do we care so much about spring training and then have to tell ourselves when the team does poorly, well, it doesn't matter. Like, this doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, but I care about it. It's just a weird thing to go through as a sports fan. Watching your team lose and then tell yourself, that doesn't matter. These ones don't matter. Shouldn't they matter a little bit?
But yet on this very show, if they were 4-0, we'd be like, you guys, look out.
Hyped. Let's go, Wisconsin. Yeah, 100%.
0-4?
That doesn't matter. Come on, guys. It's spring training. This isn't the team we're going to see on the field at AmFam. Okay, calm down.
This at all. Everything's going to be fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. Tommy Wartz and Tim Allen and Brewers spring training.
Yeah,
Nobody's going to cover it like we are. They are headed down to Arizona next week. We'll have shows all week, guests all week, highlights all week from spring training next week here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. How's Bucky doing?
Badgers.
They're headed to Oregon today. Is it Oregon or Oregon?
It's Oregon for me.
And Oregon is just outside of Madison.
Oh.
You know that?
No.
Okay. Oregon, but yet Oregon. The Ducks, they're headed out there. They played really well against Iowa over the weekend. Not so much at Ohio State, but a really, really great game for Bucky against Iowa. Nick Boyd went completely nuclear. I'm sure you talked about this yesterday, but almost a triple-double. 27 points, 10 assists, 9 rebounds. Nolan Winter added 18. One little note. I don't know if you guys mentioned this yesterday. Jack Janicki reportedly out for the foreseeable future with a wrist injury. And so this is ironically a little bit like, spring training and preseason football. These games matter, but there's not much that the Badgers could do to really ruin it other than just let's keep a steady pace. Let's get into the Big Ten tournament and see how the NCAA tournament shakes out. But trending in the right direction is good, yet it seems like when you get to the tournament, it doesn't matter either.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it really seems like they're playing just between a few seeds. It's, best case scenario, 6 seed, worst case scenario, maybe a 9 seed. And so that's a weird spot for fans to be in as well when they're just starting to tune in, when the casual fan is now just starting to tune into college basketball. And the Badgers are pretty set on where they're going to be.
Did you know that Big Cat from Barstool Sports is a huge Badger fan?
Yes.
I remember him specifically. We got to bring this up to Brad Davison when he's on with us next. Big Cat was in body paint. There was a big Badger win at the Kohl Center. He ran onto the court, hugged Brad Davison.
Yeah, I remember that.
The paint was on his chest. Big Cat has a lot of Wisconsin pride. Packers, not so much, but a lot of Wisconsin pride, to say the least. Actually, coming up, and I have questions. Big Cat over the weekend put out there that we're really going to regret that we put all of these stadiums indoors. All of the ideas of Chicago having an indoor stadium or Kansas City having an indoor stadium or any of these other stadiums that used to play outside that went indoors. He thinks we're going to really regret that 20 years down the line. Do you agree? That's the question that we have amongst yours and more of ours in I Have Questions coming up in the next segment here on Inside Wisconsin Sports. Let us know your thoughts. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Fan talk and text line. Thought that was pretty interesting. And I immediately went, yeah, everything should be outside. And then I was like, wait a minute. I've been to some of these stadiums that are inside. Actually really nice. Great experience. I know. We'll see how it shakes out. I'm not sure where I stand on it yet. Good news. I have about 10 minutes. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, you do.
On to the Bucks.
Bucks.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm so that I'd have to go back. I'd have to find it. I didn't mark the tape. But there was definitely a time when they decided we're going to tank and then we're not going to tank, where I said, all right, we just need to make a decision because I don't want us to be middle of the road where we lose, but we don't lose bad enough to get one of these franchise faces, draft picks. And then you see the Bucks come out and crush a team, and then you see them come out and lose by 30. and I just go, what are we doing? Pick a lane, boys. Are we trying to win? Or are we not? Because if we're trying to win and then we're also going to lose by 30, then maybe we shouldn't be trying to win. Try less.
But the kicker here is the only people that are mentioning that they should or shouldn't be tanking is us. It's not like the team's going to come out and go, hey,
well, of
just
course.
a heads up. But my point on that is that maybe it was we thought they should tank because we want this draft pick. But now they're not tanking unless you look at the game that they lost 122-94. That seemed like a tank game, yet not so much on that Friday night. 139, 118 against New Orleans. And so they are home tonight against the Heat. Fiserv Forum. Should they be tanking, Josh? That's the question. Giannis isn't back yet, still out with a calf strain. What do you think they should do? How do they keep you, Mr. Bucks, happy right now?
I don't know. It's so frustrating. And I've talked to a few people, and their answer to me is the Bucks aren't purposefully tanking. They're just bad. And so is it that they're bad enough to where even if they're not trying to tank, like some other teams are making it obvious that they are they just a bad enough team to where down the stretch when they're playing not the Pelicans, they'll lose and tank whether they're trying to or not. But as a fan, I want more strategy in it. And I like the idea of them getting a high draft pick. I like the idea of that happening. With Giannis on this team, settling for like barely making the play-in game and then getting eliminated isn't enough. So take the L, take the 1-year L, move on, and then really give it a shot next season. But that's all just what's going through my head. If that's not the mentality and Giannis says no, I'd much rather have us make the play-in game and then lose. Okay, well then do that. If that's what needs to happen for him to say this team's still competitive, then so be it.
In Milwaukee Bucks basketball, this has been one of the more confusing seasons in the last, let's just say 10.
Yeah, absolutely it has. It hasn't even been close. I'd say in the last 20. Because it was, at least then we've known they either suck, like they really suck and we can move on, or they don't suck and we got a chance. But with Giannis constantly not being on the court and the pieces around him obviously not being able to do much when he's not out there, it puts it in this, okay, so are we just trying to make it through to where he's going to come back? What's happening? What are we doing?
Finish this sentence. The Milwaukee Bucks are
bad.
That's it. All right. Anything else?
I don't like that answer.
Anything else?
You gave it.
I know. Well, it's true.
Big piece from the weekend. I'm not sure if you guys caught this. The WCHA regular season title was decided by a Wisconsin Badgers women's hockey team without 4 key players because they were off in Milan, Italy, winning gold.
Yeah.
The WCHA, the regular season title, the Julian By Cup, was officially secured at the Laban in Madison. And then now they get Layla Edwards and Caroline Harvey and Ava McNaughton and Kirsten Sims from the gold medal USA women's team back. So all the best to the rest of the NCAA when these women Badgers get back on the ice for the conference tournament and then ultimately the NCAA tournament. Eight NCAA championships for them. I think we're going to pay a little bit more attention to the Wisconsin Badgers after watching some of their women win gold in Italy. Super fun.
I mean, that was part of the conversation that took place yesterday is what happens with hockey now? Does NHL, does collegiate hockey, does all of hockey get a boost from the performances we saw in the Olympics? Do people start setting reminders and DVRing? That was still a thing. The hockey games because they're into the sport now that the U.S. claimed the throne. Men, women, doesn't matter.
I grew up in Southeast Wisconsin, and hockey wasn't a thing. I don't know of a single high school when I was in high school that had a hockey team. Up here in Northeast Wisconsin, where I live, and maybe so true is the same in Wausau and or Duluth Superior for sure. Hockey's pretty big deal. I mean, kids start skating at local arenas and start playing in junior hockey games super young. So it's a bigger deal up here than it is in other parts of the state. That I know for a fact. I just wonder if it's going to get a little bit more love like you guys were talking about now. Will I pay attention? Will you pay attention to the NHL more? I don't know. Maybe a little bit at the collegiate level, though, knowing that there was a bunch of women from Wisconsin on that team. But I'm not exactly rushing to Admirals games now that hockey is like in the limelight.
Yeah, I mean, I know Brandon Snide from 9 to Noon went all in. He went and bought some Nashville Predators gear, as them being the NHL affiliate of the Milwaukee Admirals. And he chose his team, and he's in on it because of what he saw in the Olympics. And I was like, I just can't do it. It meant way more to me that it was the U.S. The U.S. of A. was what was playing hockey.
When we come back, we're going to answer all of your questions. Literally every life question that you might have. You know what? Now's the time to text us. We're not going to do any research. We're just going to see what comes to us and give you an answer that hopefully you can base the rest of your life on. That way
what could go wrong?
What could go wrong? The question at hand, though, is actually from Big Cat at Barstool. 20 years from now, we're all going to regret that we put every single stadium indoors. Do you agree with that? Should professional sports that typically are played outside, baseball, football in particular, should they be outside, or are we cool with these roofs? And do they need to retract and be retractable? That's the question. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line. We're off and running on a Tuesday that kind of feels like a Monday, but it's really a Tuesday. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Back on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, live and local here in the state of Wisconsin. What's up, Duluth Superior, listening this morning on 710 The Game. Wausau on 93.9 The Game, 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan in Milwaukee, and 99.7 WNFL in Green Bay and the Fox Valley. We have questions and we have answers. Just ask us. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line. Get your questions in. We'll go grab the Magic 8 Ball. Be right back. Hang on.
When things just don't add up, Trevor and Josh ask the hard questions or just point out how messed up stuff is.
I only have one question.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
Do you view this season as a failure?
You asked me the same question last year.
What's the most important question the Badgers have to answer Saturday?
This is a great question. Oh my God, this is a great question.
It's time for I Have Questions on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Josh, I saw somebody online the other day take apart one of these Magic 8 Balls.
Oh,
really, really interesting.
yeah. I don't know that I like that. It ruins the magic.
It did a little bit
of the 8 ball.
I have the in my hand. I have the official Bob Uecker 8 ball.
Yep.
We should use this to answer some questions some days.
Yep. Seen at Goodwill and thrift stores everywhere. The amount of those. Oh, the amount of those that I've got one at home, but I've seen. Like, they're all over the place. Same with the Bob Uecker alarm clock. You remember that one, too? You got that one?
The Bob Uecker alarm clock?
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
What else? I might have it.
What about the Derek Turnbow real hair bobblehead?
414-677-1250. That was a thing. The Nicolay Law Fan Talking Text line. Really? I did not see that. All right, so the question on hand today from Big Cat at Barstool Sports says 20 years from now, we're all going to regret that we put all of these stadiums indoors. Do you agree with that? Where do you stand on stadiums being indoors, Josh?
So this is a tough one. It's a great question. First of all, I've gone on record. I don't mind saying it again. I think that the sport of football and NFL stadiums, for the most part, are all the same. They're all very basic layouts. One of the beautiful things about a baseball stadium is that they can all be unique. The outfield, the design, where the walls are, what's in the outfield. Some of them have pools in the background. Some of them have beautiful, skyline views. Some of them have buildings. That makes it awesome, unique, and I love that. And so for that reason, I don't mind if it has a roof or doesn't have a roof, because none of them are the same, and they're playing a billion games in them. So put a roof on it, who cares? Football stadiums, they're all the same. You're just packing a bunch of people in there, and they all look the same, and you're only playing, 9 games at most in that stadium every year. So keep it outside. It's for a football game. And you're not gonna have it be rained out anyway. You're gonna play the game. So I just think that I'm fine with baseball stadiums, but not football stadiums. Football stadiums being inside seems weird to me. You're only playing 8 games. It's supposed to be a game that was built on the gridiron. Like, it's a different scene.
Have you been to an indoor football game, an indoor NFL game?
Yes.
Did you like the
US Bank
experience?
Stadium. No, it was super weird, especially at US Bank Stadium. And at the time, their like hype video was talking about how the traditions of playing in the blistering cold, as I'm sitting comfortably in 70-degree weather, and then they have fake snow falling from the ceiling. And I'm like, what is this? This is the lamest thing I've ever seen.
Minnesota's played inside for a really long time until Brett Favre went up there and they started to consider having to rebuild after the dome fell in at the old Minneapolis Dome, whatever they called it back then.
Metrodome, yeah.
Metrodome, yeah. But that followed suit in a lot of other places. Lucas Oil. Now Chicago is considering not only with the move, but what does that new stadium look like? I don't think they're ever going to get stupid enough to put one on top of Lambeau Field, but I really appreciated the retractable roof that came along with the Brewers in Miller Park back in the early 2000s. I think there is something to be said about playing football outside. However, I have been to the stadiums in the hottest part of the country. Dallas, retractable, but not all retractable, just this little spot in the middle that at least gives you the impression that you're outside.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want anything retracting in Las Vegas.
Sure.
Baseball or football related. Yet you look at Chicago. If they go indoors, then Minneapolis would be indoors, and the Lions would be indoors, and the Packers would be the only stadium in the NFC North that didn't have elements connected to it. And quickly, what we would believe to be an advantage becomes our disadvantage. Just take a look at the NFL schedule, the home and away NFL schedule for the Packers. How many of those games, those away games, are going to be indoors? So does it even things out because people aren't used to playing outside anymore?
See, I think that, for one, I don't think that the idea of playing in very cold temperatures is an advantage. I think that advantage that the
used to be
correct. I think that's gone. I think the idea of, we don't want to have to go play in Lambeau, we don't know how to play in cold, that doesn't exist anymore. It hasn't seemed to have been a factor for a long time. But also, I think it's interesting that then you say in the hotter places, well, let's make it comfy. Let's have a roof on it and have it be AC, cool and controlled. Don't you think it'd be an advantage for, if you're playing in warmer temperatures and being like, we're used to playing in 28-degree weather. Now we got to go play in 89 or 93-degree weather. That's a disadvantage for us. So it seems like to me, if I was in a hotter climate, I might be not giving myself an advantage by not forcing the teams. Didn't we go through that in Jacksonville? When we played in Jacksonville a while back, it was that, guys were getting overheated and not used to the heat because we're from Wisconsin where they're not playing football in 96-degree weather.
We're going to run into that a lot this year. The away opponents, New Orleans in the south, Tampa Bay in the south, the Patriots and the Jets in the north, and both of those stadiums are outside, so we should be good to go there. And then the Rams later on in the season as well, at least we think later on, the 2026 away opponents for the Green Bay Packers. So many stadiums, though, are about the experience, and that's the first message I read on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line. It says it's all about greedy owners wanting to have concerts and other things at the stadium. They could care less about football and the football fans. Well, I don't know if that's true from the 920. 414-677-1250. Do you think that we should keep building stadiums as indoor stadiums, or are we all like, hey, wait a minute, sports are meant to be played outside? I see the weather aspect from an owner's standpoint. Mm-hmm. Lambeau Field sells more stuff on nice days. Their hawkers can't really hawk beer in the frigid cold in December and January and hopefully later into the season in terms of playoffs, right?
Well, I don't know. They can.
Not successfully.
Bring your gloves. Bring your gloves.
No, I'm saying more about the product and then fumbling through money and trying to pass cards. And it just gets more difficult to operate a stadium in the freezing cold. I can appreciate that, having seen the behind the scenes in regards to the food and bev side at Lambeau Field. But the same thing is true on the other end of the spectrum when it's super duper hot. I mean, have you sat on the third base side at AmFam Field on a super duper hot summer day?
Oh, yeah. It's worse in the bleachers in left field. You're literally getting cooked.
The whole game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you'll see when it's a super hot day, you'll see them empty. And the fans that would be sitting there are just in the back, staying in the shade. 100%. And sometimes they will partially retract the roof to try to keep those areas more in the shade and not have people burn up.
And the shadows and all those complaints come out. The 920, I was glad when they built Miller Park with a retractable roof. It's miserable going to baseball games when it's in the 30s or 40s. I've been to several. I can appreciate that. Packers games where it's near zero. If you dress properly, it's bad and it's part of the experience. Lambeau Field should never have a roof. That's Ron Rome. I agree. Cold weather games don't freak me out at Lambeau. Just put on the layers and get some juice that warms you up a little bit, and you'll be good to go. Sitting on that third base side, though, at Miller Park is just a different ballgame, AmFam Field.
How many stadiums do you think right now in the NFL, unless you look this up, have domes?
I looked it up.
Oh, you did? Okay.
100% chance. Yeah, I have an entire list of all of the stadiums with all the domes. Is it the majority? Is that what you found?
No.
It's not the majority.
No. It is 11. 11 stadiums are covered in the NFL. 5 retractable roofed and 6 with fixed roofs or domes.
I think it's the trend that scares people, though. If you see a new stadium, one of these gabillion-dollar stadiums, they're all indoors. And that's where you tie it back to the money.
Well, that plus look at the whole argument of what's happening with Soldier Field and them saying, well, the Bears don't own the stadium. They rent it. The city of Chicago, the state of Illinois, makes the money if Taylor Swift comes and has a concert there, right? But they're going, okay, so if that's a big concern, is that these teams that own these stadiums are trying to make money during the offseason or during an away game when no one is in that 80,000 seat stadium. It's easier when you can put a roof on it and you can guarantee the temperature for the concert and everything else.
That's why Lambeau Field doesn't host many concerts.
Right.
Because they don't want to wreck the grass. Well, guess what doesn't have to worry about that? Fake grass.
Right.
Luke Combs coming to Lambeau Field this year.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
Real
fun. I just specifically with football, I just feel like it's part of the game. Like it's a different game than baseball. It's supposed to be tough. It's supposed to, you're hitting a dude. You're hitting a big dude. It's big dudes hitting other big dudes. And it just feels better seeing that when the elements are involved, whether it be, snow or mud or, just cold. Think about the NFL films videos where you can see the breath coming out of the helmets. Like if that's all gone, like that sucks. That's part of it. That's part of the mystique of the NFL.
Do you think part of this, Josh, is because the at-home viewing experience has become what it is? Do you think that they want to entice more people to come to a stadium for the experience outside of the weather?
I don't know. Are NFL stadiums having a hard time filling seats? I'm asking that legitimately because I know that's not the case at Lambeau, but I don't know if that's the case in Jacksonville or, I don't know, Houston.
Well, apparently that depends who you ask about Lambeau, because if you ask the Packers, there's a lot of people that are choosing not to fill their seats and they're selling their tickets. And it's making them mad to the point where they're going, you don't get them anymore.
Transition.
That is the morning mind dump coming up next. Have you seen this news? Yet again this year, the Packers are about to send out information to season ticket holders that may say, hey, we took those back. You sold them too many times. We wish you all the best. The morning mind dump, 414-677-1250. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about the Packers taking away season tickets for people that sell them for whatever reason? I have a lot to share on this.
I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good conversation,
to be honest. All right, the most electrifying sound of the day is next, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
It's time for
The most electrifying
sound of the day
The most electrifying
on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Brought to you by Best Electric. Learn more at bestelect.com. Don't stress. Connect with the best.
I've literally done almost everything. Almost. I can tell you this. The one thing that I haven't done is be a full-time father.
AJ, it is my esteemed honor to inform you that you are the newest inductee in the 2026 class of the WWE Hall of Fame.
And that audio of AJ Styles on Monday Night Raw last night, not only retiring, but then also being told by The Undertaker that he is going to be in the WWE Hall of Fame, is the most electrifying sound of the day, brought to you by our friends at Best Electric. Remember, no job is too big or too small for Best Electric. Don't stress. Connect with the best. Call them today or visit bestelect.com. Now, Trevor, I know what everyone's saying. Oh, wrestling? Listen.
Here we go again.
Listen, maybe you don't watch wrestling. Maybe you're not into it. Maybe you don't watch pro wrestling. Take that out of it, okay? This is what happened last night. You saw a guy that dedicated himself to a craft, to something. Go in front of his family in essentially his hometown, right there in Atlanta. He's from Gainesville. And say, I've had an amazing career. I've done everything besides just be able to be there for my kids. And if you're out there and you're listening to this right now and you have children and you can't relate to how difficult it is to live your dreams and still be a full-time parent, I don't know what to tell you. But that definitely hit for me. And then knowing that in that same episode, that same moment, he realizes that his hard work paid off and he's a Hall of Famer was awesome. That was absolutely electric.
When the chime hit, the boom of The Undertaker, and the lights went out during that last night, I was like, holy crap, here we go. I did say earlier in the night to my family that I thought there was a chance he was going to make the Hall of Fame, which, hold on, back out of this for a hot second. We don't talk very much wrestling on this show, so no reason to get the yips, people. If you're listening, oh my God, they talking about, no. However, pause. Y'all are missing out just a little bit. This is as mainstream as it's ever been. They replayed the Royal Rumble on Sunday night on ESPN. I don't know if you saw that or not.
I did not see that, no.
The whole thing, which I digress that I had to pay the subscription to watch it live, and then you're just going to play it for free, but hey, you do you. Okay.
Sure.
So we're talking about our upcoming family schedule here over the next few weeks. We have spring break in the future. My wife and I and our oldest son all celebrate birthdays between now and the end of April. And we're going over dates that we have like available for dinners and family get-togethers and so on. And Amanda looks at the weekend of my birthday, which is April 16th, and looks at the 17th, 18th, 19th, and goes, we can't do anything. It's WrestleMania. I was like, hold on. I think we can. However, this is interesting. We got into wrestling, my wife and I, because of our kids, specifically Riker. And last night, Raw is on the TV, and I'm working on my laptop, and Amanda's reading her book, and we're both kind of paying attention, but kind of not. And all of a sudden, I look around, and I go, oh, my God.
Where are the kids?
Our kids aren't even in the room.
Yep.
And we realized that we actually care more about what's happening in the drama/soap opera that is WWE wrestling than our boys did.
Yep.
And I looked at her and I said, this is why we do not need to adjust our schedules for WrestleMania.
That is an eye-opening moment when you realize what has happened.
And so last night we're watching AJ Styles retire, and I find myself clapping on the couch at my TV. That's when I was like, all right.
I might have a problem.
What are you doing with your life? What have I become?
I don't know. And maybe it's just me, but I will tell you that the business we're in is, for as much fun as we get to have, it is time consuming. You're always working, whether the mics are on or not. And so when I hear athletes or entertainers talk about their work-life balance and what they've had to miss, that hits home for me. And hearing him give that speech in front of his family last night, I don't know. That hit me. That hit me for sure.
Boundaries, man. Massively important to protect the time that is most important, for sure. All right, when we come back, it's the morning mind dump, and I'm on a heater this morning about this. The Packers are continuing to exercise their season ticket non-renewal policy to ensure that tickets, quote, are being enjoyed by the account holder and their family, friends, and fellow Packers fans. I get it. We don't like Detroit blue. We don't like Minnesota purple.
Mm-hmm.
Are we here, though? Again, Richard Ryman in the Green Bay Press-Gazette put out an incredible article showcasing what happens when the Packers do remove people from their season tickets.
Ooh.
Not for rowdy reasons, but just for reasons of you sell them too many oftentimes, and we don't want you to do that anymore. I have a lot of questions, a lot, and that's why we do it in the morning mind dump, because this is going to be a conversation. We're going to also see if there's anybody out there that had this happen to them. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Good morning, Wisconsin. I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up, I'm home. Whoa!
It comes with the price tag.
Breaking news.
Michael Parsons has officially been traded.
This is where Michael Parsons is a superstar.
This is a guy that you have to change game plan for.
You don't trade players of his caliber.
Look out, Dolphins. Slow, guess who? Micah Parsons. Unbelievable rush by Parsons. Out he goes. His third sack today.
I don't duck nobody. I like me against anybody.
From behind. Ball is out. Micah Parsons. They chase by Parsons. He's got him. His first sack as the Green Bay Packers. Got to double team more than anybody.
More persistent pass rusher you're ever going to see.
Come on.
Audio courtesy of Micah Parsons' Instagram. Putting out hype videos in the offseason, Josh, just to remind everybody he's still here.
Yeah, I like that. I like the
What's up?
reminders.
Me too. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht.
Hi.
What's up, Wisconsin? Inside Wisconsin Sports on your radio, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Live on YouTube and Twitter if you want to choose to join us there via video. And live in a segment we call the Morning Mind Dump, where we get some things out of our head and off our chest so we don't carry these things with us the rest of the day. I'm going to be honest. Today's topic is going to stick with me. Here we go.
I hear voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me.
The coffee is kicked in. We're awake and ready to roll. Let's get some things off our chest and out of our heads.
You don't know what it's like to be me out here for you. It is an up at dawn, pride-swallowing siege that I will never fully tell you about, okay?
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. I'm in a glass case of emotion.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
We've got no food, we got no jobs, our pets' heads are falling off!
It's time for the Morning Mind Dump on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law fan talking text line. So the story hit again yesterday, just like it has in the previous year or two, that the Green Bay Packers are now warning season ticket holders, attend your games or lose your tickets. A story in this morning's Green Bay Press Gazette from Richard Ryman, who reports on all things Packers business, lists out a few stories from season ticket holders of the Green Bay Packers that no longer can say they're season ticket holders because the Packers said, no. You don't get to sell these tickets as often as you are. We're going to go ahead and take these back. I have so many questions, but I'm going to start here, Josh, and read from Richard Ryman's article. It says, quote, the Packers next week will send information to ticket holders on 2026 ticket prices and notify some fans that their tickets will not be renewed. A controversial process among at least those fans who are affected in an exercise the Packers have carried out for the last several years. It primarily includes fans who have not attended any home games for several years, the Packers say. The mailing also includes the policy on use of tickets. The Packers also put out a press release on this yesterday, and there's a quote in here by Craig Benzel, the Packers Vice President of Sales and Business Development, that says, simply put, Packers season ticket holders who purchase their tickets with the sole intent of reselling them should not be Packers season ticket holders. All right. So my first thought here is when I saw this news, I get it. I understand we don't like Detroit blue. We don't like Minneapolis Viking, Minnesota purple. We don't like anything from Illinois. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But when does this go too far? And so in Richard Ryman's article, it now starts to share some of the stories that came from some of these fans that have lost their tickets. And the first one is from a U.S. Navy veteran who was away for 8.5 years and unable to attend games. He even submitted affidavits to the Packers in terms of, hey, this is where I was and this is what I was doing, couldn't come. And he still lost his tickets. Or there's another story of a family that's had season tickets from City Stadium at Green Bay East High School when the Packers played there, and then transferred those tickets to Lambeau Field. Grandma and Grandpa, too frail, couldn't go. Family was waiting to pass down the season tickets, which I learned you can do one time. And so pause.
That was a question.
This is where I'm confused. Recently, my family and I just put together a living trust. I had a will. I found it not to be efficient or sufficient in regards to where we are at in life.
Yeah,
I
get a
got
trust,
with
people.
my friends at Hooper Law, my guy Adam and his team. We put together a trust. In said trust lists all of the things that we own, meaning this is what happens if Amanda and I pass away to our kids, our cars, our mortgage, our investments, all of the things that we own. So my question is, and maybe Adam from Hooper Law, if you're listening, buddy, call in. I want to talk about this. 414-677-1250. The Nicolay Law talk and text line. If you can will, or if you can pass down these tickets from the Green Bay Packers, does that not require you to own them? And at what point does ownership leave the whole like, well, this is our ticket policy, we can do with these what we want? I understand the Packers have power, they have policies, there's fine print, there are reasons you could get your season tickets revoked. At the end of the day, you're renting a seat. But my question is, what happens when you're able to will them or to pass them down? Do you not need ownership of something to go into a trust that you're going to pass down? I also really struggle with how expensive these tickets are and some people seeing the value in selling them. Not all of them. We wouldn't want that. But where do they draw the line? And in all of the research that I've been looking for in regard to this topic, I do not see a cut and dry delineated line between you get to keep your tickets and or you have to sell them. My last point on this, and then we got to discuss this in more depth. If other teams did this, let's just say they too had season ticket issues. If other teams decided to start doing this, we would no longer be the best traveled team in the NFL, the most traveled, the most well-attended on the road. I've been to a number of Packer games. It is not difficult to get tickets on the road. But if these other stadiums had these policies, we would not be able to buy the number of tickets so many of us do when we decide to travel to an away game to make a mini vacation out of the Packers playing in Tampa or the Packers playing in LA this year. We talked about some of those earlier pieces. I'm just curious if you have an opinion on this. Where do you stand on the Packers having the ability, knowing full well there's fine print? I get it. I understand. I just don't know. I don't know how to feel about this.
Okay. So a few things. First, I as a realist, I like to try to see things from everyone's point of view. I think the idea of this being about there being too much Honolulu blue or purple or blue and orange in the stands at games is a front. It's a facade that the Packers are trying to paint on the fan base of why they're doing this. It has nothing to do with that. Okay. It has everything to do with the fact it's money. It's all money. And we're selling the tickets for this much, knowing that there are people that are literally just looking at being ticket holders as a business. They're looking at it as a side business. Well, every year we're going to get 8 tickets, I don't know, however many tickets, 4 tickets, whatever it is, 2 Packer games, and we'll be able to sell them and make $1,000. There's $1,000 in our pocket, and all we have to do is list the tickets. They're looking at that and they're going, no, that's not fair. You don't get to make money on our money. That is the reason why. It is not about, come on, we need more Packer fans in the stands. Baloney. Because even if you didn't sell your tickets, the opposing teams are going to find ways into stadiums. You're not going to stop that. That's part of the game. Also, to your point, how do you get more people for the first time to experience Lambeau Field if you're stopping them from going to games? You need to be able to allow fans of other teams to come and experience Lambeau Field if you're going to tout the beauty and mystique and awesomeness that is Lambeau Field. You can't say that it's a destination place where you need to see a football game at Lambeau Field. If you're a fan of the NFL, I don't even care if you like the Packers, or if your team's playing, doesn't matter. You got to go see a game at Lambeau Field. Well, now, how are they supposed to get the tickets? From you? Right. That's the difference. Now, instead of buying them on the secondary market, the Packers are saying, come buy them from us. Come have us make the money, not these other people that have just been on the list. So, for the record, first point, that's the reason why the Packers are doing this. It has nothing to do with the fan base. Nothing.
So look at the Nicolay Law talking text line in regard to that. 414-677-1250. A text just came in that says, what about the one-time seat license fee of $1,700 per ticket to not dome Lambeau Field? That was ridiculous. Packers, in this person's eyes, are being greedy, and this new policy is all about money, to Josh's point.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what it is, and that's what it comes down to. Now, on the flip side, it's the Packers organization, and as much as we like to hang up our stock certificates, I mean, I don't know, unless we all petitioned, I don't know that this is really going to be a policy that changes. We're just going to have to follow suit because the Packers organization gets to put bylaws and guidelines and fine print and things saying that they can essentially do whatever they want. The reason why this is a bad idea from the Packers, first and foremost, as I mentioned, it's not going to stop anything. Fans are just going to try to find new ways, new loopholes to sell their tickets. They'll work around certain ways to make sure that they can still get the ticket to a person that is off the Packers' radar when they're analyzing this. They don't have, unless it gets to the point to where they're doing face recognition of you in your seat or something that goes against, any ethical code.
That up, though. Interesting you bring that up, if I may. Because tickets are digital now, which pisses all sorts of people off, the Packers can tell when they are sold on secondary markets or when they're transferred after a direct sale. They can also tell who the buyers are. They identify patterns of use and make decisions accordingly. So a text just came in, Nicolay Law, talking text line, 414-677-1250. It says they aren't preventing people from selling. They are preventing them from selling every single game for years.
Yes.
I don't know that's the case.
Now, and that was my next point, and that's the biggest point, is that the Packers come out and they say this, leaving a ton of gray area.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what's not fair. You have people that have specific situations that don't know, okay, so I can't make it to a game. I don't want to lose our season tickets. There's no strict guidelines of if you sell more than 3 games worth of tickets multiple years in a row or whatever. The Packers organization can't be out there just willy-nilly trying to decide, you know what, give this one a pass. This one loses their tickets. This one gets a pass. That's not fair. I also want to point out, a lot of people know that my wife, Julie, works for the Better Business Bureau, and it's all based on trust and ethics. Well, the Green Bay Packers organization is BBB accredited. And so, I'm just saying, if they go to that effort, which they don't need to do, but they go to that effort to say, hey, we're a trustworthy business and organization, this is the opposite of that. This is a power and money flex from the Green Bay Packers organization that literally, if I was a season ticket holder this morning, it is putting fear in my brain of I don't sell my tickets, but I wanted to give a pair to my nephew. What's the process of how I do that? Are they going to set up some type of different transfer portal to where I'm not selling them, but if I can't make it, I can give them to someone else? And then if it really is about the color of that person's jersey, are they going to have something in there that says, make sure that the friend you're giving these tickets to isn't a Bears fan? This is the point. There's so much gray area, and this is so hard as a fan to be able to stick with, want to follow, and be on the same page with. And until the Packers can get that in line with how Packers fans feel, it's going to be fought. The last point I want to make on this is that remember when the Brewers, during the postseason, put on their website, we're not selling these tickets to Cubs fans.
Yeah, I literally we sat next to somebody.
Right. But like on the website, it was like the Brewers went out of their way to try to do things to stop Chicago fans from buying tickets. And not one person that was a Wisconsin born and raised Brewers fan fought it. Everyone was like, hell yeah, good. Keep those Cub fans out of AmFam.
Well, but they don't have 155,000 people on a season ticket holding with
now. That is correct. But I am saying that I don't know that you can look at them and say, go Brewers, that's the right thing to do. And then look at the Packers and say, boo Packers, that's the wrong thing to do.
Okay, so to that point then, in Richard Ryman's article in the Green Bay Press-Gazette, he lists here what went out in a team release in regard to this. Quote, season ticket holders who repeatedly resell their season tickets, whether on the secondary market or through ticket brokers, directly or indirectly, may have their renewal ability impacted without further warning, the team said in a release. It goes on to say, quote, when they aren't able to make those arrangements directly, the platforms such as the NFL Ticket Exchange or Ticketmaster are a convenient and safe way to do that. But, this is from the Packers, but in our minds, the Packers say, that should be few and far between. Meaning they have a belief that if you buy tickets, you should be using them. And to Josh's whole point, where do they draw the line? And that, for as much as these tickets cost, I think is a tough pill to swallow for a lot of people. And it's gotten to a point now where people are writing articles or sports talk shows or having conversations about this going, what am I missing? Is this really about other team colors? Well, how are you ever going to stop that for good and think that you're going to maintain the season ticket level that you are? Let's go to the phones, Josh.
Yeah, this is Ron and Rome joining us on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line.
Ron, thanks for the buzz, man. How do you feel about this whole season ticket thing with the Packers?
You know, I've been saying for a long time they need to do something about these people who just constantly resell their tickets. In 1990, I signed up on the waiting list. And in 2013, the Packers told me you're never getting the green package. But if you'll give up your rights to the green package, you can get the gold package. So I did, and I got the nosebleed seat, section 742. They had an open day where you could go see what your seats were like. And the guy in front of me was bragging about how he has 16 seats, and he's only going to use 4 of them, and he's going to always sell the 12 seats. So people like that, they need to find them and stop them from doing that. And but I have a simple solution that would help a lot of this. I have never sold my tickets to anyone. I just give them to my family. We always use our family or friends. And last year, my mother-in-law was in hospice, so my wife and my sister-in-law couldn't go. So I want to sell one ticket. The reselling agencies that you call the pre-market ones, you know, they can't guarantee that it'll go to a Packer fan. And the Packers told me they can't guarantee that it will go to a Packer fan. Now, they have a waiting list of 155,000 people, and at least when I was on it, you got 4 tickets with each one of them. So that's 500,000 people waiting to get a ticket that are Packer fan, mostly Packer fans. Some people are just buying it on the list as a commercial thing. But why can't they use that as a database? And when you turn in your ticket, they just say, sell that to only people on the waiting list. So that's one thing. I do think it's a problem with people coming from other teams and ruining our home field advantage. And yeah, part of it might be the Packers just wanted some of that secondary money, but they could use that database And yeah, you should be able to give your tickets to whoever you want, but the people who are just using it as investment, they need to weed them out.
Thanks for the
We
call,
appreciate
Ron.
the buzz.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Ron.
Yeah.
So it's interesting he brings up the gold package here, Josh.
Yeah, yeah.
Richard Ryman talks about this in his article. There's a gold package holder that said he filled out a 3.5-page affidavit with the Packers stating his case, but still was not renewed. He said that in the last 10 years, 32% of gold package games were on Sunday, Monday, or Thursday nights, which are most difficult to attend for those making those long drives, and only 26% were noon games on Sundays. We got to keep this.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Josh.
Well, I was going to, we can go to break because we need to go to break, but this is a huge topic. I mean, the text line is blowing up. We appreciate their comments on YouTube. I want to get to as well. And yeah, we'll do it on the other side, but keep them coming in, because this is definitely something we want to discuss.
Yeah, we've lit the pilot light of anger, and there's a lot more people that are angry about what the Packers are doing and not what season ticket holders are doing and selling their tickets. And even Ron and Rome just said he sells them to friends and family. Well, even that, according to the release, may or may not work in your favor, because the Packers are looking for trends, and they may or may not be able to necessarily pinpoint who you're selling them to. It's a dicey deal. All right, we're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. More on this topic next, Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. A lot of people saying not having it. To which there's 155,000 other people that are going, well, then fine. We're in.
I'll take it.
What's up, Wisconsin? Inside Wisconsin Sports, Trevor and Josh, and your feedback on what the Packers are up to with this whole non-renewal of season tickets. We've been talking about it since the top. Richard Ryman, the Green Bay Press-Gazette, amongst other sources, including the Packers themselves, came out yesterday with a whole bunch of statements and articles saying that the Packers are again going down this we can exercise whether we want to or don't want to renew your season tickets. The conversation is, and are they all the same? And how do they delineate? In the break, so many people on the Nicolay Law Talk and text line, 414-677-1250, said, JB in the 920, he said, give away, Trevor, or somebody else in the 920 that said, transfer the tickets for free to others after they pay you through something like Venmo or Apple Pay. How can the office track that? Pause. That's what we're talking about, guys.
That's the gray area.
This has nothing to do with them tracking how much you make. This is you transferring your tickets. So when all of the tickets went digital, they can literally see who had the ticket originally, and then digitally through Ticketmaster and the Packers app, who you transferred it to and who they are and where they live. There is no secrecy anymore in regards to our digital lives. Jesus, don't get me started on that.
Yeah.
But in this scenario, they know. They know exactly who is walking into Lambeau Field and sitting in what seat. At least they know the person that you transferred the tickets to, whether you charged them $1 million or not. It's that you, season ticket holder, aren't using the tickets yourself. You're not scanning your phone.
Right.
It's crazy.
So also on top of the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, also you can be watching and commenting on our YouTube stream at WI Sports Radio, and nconson2302 goes there and says, I disagree with Josh. The Packers aren't losing or gaining money from this. Wrong. Here's the and here's the reason why you just brought it up. Ticketmaster. What did Ticketmaster change? I don't know, 5 years ago. That's now become the standard. Dynamic pricing. If it's not just about the resale market, it's based on tickets that are available. Now the tickets that are left are the value is more. We're going to charge you more for those tickets because these are the ones that are there. The price of the ticket is no longer just what a seller says. We are going to now change the price of the tickets. They went, hey, the resellers, there are literally businesses out here that are making money just scooping up all our tickets and then charging the general public double. The Packers are looking at this and saying, hey, there are people that put their kids on the waiting list that are getting and families that have had season tickets for 30 years, and they're literally just making it a profit on our product. Instead of us getting to make that profit, they're making more. And so the Packers are trying to fight this balance between jacking up their prices and pissing off the season ticket holders that are going to the games and trying to cut down the profit that the resellers are making by just constantly scooping up those tickets from the Packers and selling them.
The 414 just texted in. I want to know why they care. They have our money anyways.
Yeah, but they want more of your money.
Well, but the only way to get more money is A, raise ticket prices, which is going to make people want to sell them even more. But I digress. Or B, butts and seats, man. If the tickets are being used and people are coming into the stadium and buying things, that's for the greater good.
Here's the one thing that I'll agree with, and multiple people said this. Have you ever heard one of those stories? We've seen it a lot lately of mom and pop shops that have been open for 40 years that close, not because of bad business, but just because their kids don't want to take it over. Kids don't want to take over the business, so it's time to shut her down. If you are allowing your family members to get your tickets when you're done with them and not go away to let a seat, a spot on that waiting list move up, that's the problem. put your kids on the list like everyone else did. Just because you have season tickets doesn't mean that your kids should just automatically get them. Those kids should have to wait in line on the waiting list just like everyone else, especially because who knows if your kids are going to be that dedicated? Who knows if your kids are even going to live in the state? They might be able to just look at the season tickets and go, well, hey, what are we going to do with mom and dad's tickets? Well, I know we can at least make double the price. So, all right, I'll sell them and each of us kids will get, half the profit. Okay, sounds good. And they can look at it that way. That's not fair. No. The parents did the work to get on the list and have the tickets, and maybe they lived in Green Bay. You want to cut down on the resale and not having Packer fans there? Get rid of the lineage aspect of being a season ticket holder and make it to where, nope, you kick the bucket. Sorry, your tickets are to the next person. Thanks for being a Packers fan.
That was my whole question, the way this started with me talking about my trust in Hooper Law. And Adam, how do you hand something down in a legal document you don't own? That would be like me looking at you, Josh, going, Josh, that car that you have, or my buddy Brady who inherited a vehicle, like you guys aren't driving those enough. I don't think you should have it anymore. Yeah. Why do I have a say in that? It's a legally owned thing. And listen, the fine, we said this a half an hour ago. The fine print is what it is. I get it. There are stipulations to literally everything in life. But at the same token, if you're using them and or transferring them to your kids or selling them to your friends and family, even that has gotten some people pinched because the Packers can see all of that information. Look at Brett in the 262, the Nicolay Law fan talking text line, 414-677-1250. Brett says, I was added to the list when I was born in 1996. First off, oh my God, I'm old. I was around 33,000 on that list. I'm at 11,500 or so now. I go to 4 or 5 home games per year and 1 away game. Lambeau has an aura. Opposing teams taking over is clearly due to large blocks of tickets. We're talking 8 to 12 tickets. In Brett's opinion, they should cap 4 tickets per person. No reason to be able to keep more than that. Well, get this. Some of those big blocks go all the way back to City Stadium or all the way back to when Lambeau was built, and there were no season ticket holders. Selling tickets was a problem. And so families back then said, we'll help. Hey, Green Bay, owned by the fans, we'll help. We'll buy tickets. My family owns 16, or my family owns 22. My personal family owns 0. But I know of families in our area, here in the greater Green Bay area, that have a whole bunch. And it's not that they're trying to make a profit on them. It's that they've had them in their family for generations. It is just a real hairy, slippery slope, in my opinion.
Yeah, and the thing is that no matter what they do, not everyone's going to be satisfied. This is a situation for the Packers to where they can't find a solution that's going to make every single person happy. It's not going to happen. What I'm saying is that the way that they lay this out, to me, is showing them just being greedy. Because if it was truly about the fan base, you're giving more guidelines. You're being more specific about the problem at hand. You're not just saying, stop selling your tickets or we're going to take them away. Oh, okay. So how many? We've had multiple people this morning on the Nicolay Law fan talking text line saying, guys, they mean for the fans that sell every ticket. Do they?
No, they don't. No, they don't.
Where did they say that in the article? Right. Where is it in the guidelines that say this specifically, fine print, this specifically only applies to fans who sell every single ticket for multiple years, blah, 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 blah. Doesn't say that anywhere. There's none of that. That's the problem. That's why I have a problem with all of this and standing on the side of the Packers being like, no, they're doing this for a good reason. Because if that was the case, there'd be more fine print, more black and white, wording, and that's not there. It's not there.
The last paragraph in Richard Ryman's article in the Press Gazette, the Green Bay Press Gazette, reads like this. One former ticket holder pointed out the irony in the Packers being thrilled when their fans fill opposing stadiums, but they're attempting to keep opposing fans out of Lambeau Field. Now, Popke did acknowledge from the Packers that Lambeau Field is a bucket list destination for opposing fans, but the Packers would like their numbers on game day to be in the hundreds, not the thousands. I think at the end of the day, this goes back to opposing fans being loud at Lambeau Field, because I don't see how the Packers make more money by keeping fans from selling their tickets. How do the Packers make more money by me? I'll use myself as an example. I don't have season tickets, but let's say I owned a pair.
Yep.
How do they make more money if I choose to keep them versus selling them?
Because if the people that are actually going to the games are not reselling their tickets, then it's not creating an environment of people looking at it as a business. It's the resellers market being profitable is what has the Packers going, why is someone else getting to profit from us? That's not fair. That's
fans.
Our money.
I think it's weirdly
if
about
that's
fans.
the case, then put more money in the team. Then do better at developing a team. Then have better coaches. Winning changes everything. You don't want as many opposing fans. You don't want to hear opposing fans being as loud at Lambeau Field. Then put a better product than a 7th seed for 3 years in a row. Win more games. Have it to where if there is a ton of Honolulu Blue, they're sitting down because their team's getting beat 38-3. That's the solution for them making noise. I'm sorry, if you're putting out a mediocre product because you say you're title town and you haven't gotten past the first round of the playoffs in 3 years, sorry, bud. That's an opening ticket saying, hey, traveling fans, come on in. See your team beat the Green Bay Packers. Win games. That'll change that. Next problem. Let's go.
BG and the GB. A final note says, you want more fans in your seats? Put out a better product, maybe. Oh, boy. And that's the rest of the story. When we come back, there's a story called Take Back Tuesday that we try to tell every single Tuesday.
Boy.
And rare is the bird and the sweet song of spring when Josh has to go, hold on, I have a take back from just within the last week.
7 days ago.
Big fan. We'll do that next. We are live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Whoa, we got some people tuned up today. Reminder, Wisconsin, if you miss any part of today's show or yesterday's or whatever, you can find all of them on your favorite podcast platform. Just search Inside Wisconsin Sports, and there you can jump to any segment, any hour, any show, anytime, whenever it's most convenient for you. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, wrapping up the conversation about all things Packers season tickets. We have officially wound you guys up, which is, by the way, the opposite of the morning mind up. We're supposed to allow you guys to just drop this stuff.
Yeah.
So, sorry?
Well, if it makes you feel any better, stay tuned. Top of 8. We're going to get you riled up about something completely different in regards to the Packers and news that came out yesterday.
Check your blood pressure and your pulse. Somebody asked if Josh was okay. Josh is good.
Nah, I'm okay for now.
That was you were ramping there for a hot second.
Yeah, well, I hated that argument, but that's fine. That's fine. I feel fine.
Well, then let's go to a piece of tape where you sounded wrong. Maybe this will help.
Yeah, okay.
A Take Back Tuesday, where just a mere week ago, Josh said this about Brandon Woodruff.
Well, technically, I said this about The Miz on a Take Back Tuesday. Hey, here's a hot take, and I put it out there. This is a Take Back Tuesday. Hopefully, this is not one I'm taking back. But I said I would not be surprised if this is the last season where Jacob Mizorowski isn't the opening day starter for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Well, the whole conversation, though, was about Woody being the opening day starter.
Well, the conversation was about, is this the last year that Woody or the Miz isn't the opening day starter?
Because Woody is.
Because we all assumed, and we said in weeks prior, well, we know it's going to be Woody, right? 99% chance. Yeah, like they're going to put Woody out there. Fast forward to a week after I say, here's my hot take. I think after this season, the Miz is going to be our opening day starter. It turns out he might not have to wait until 2027. This was Brandon Woodruff being interviewed in the locker room yesterday.
My goals, their goals, I think are pretty much the same, and that's to get through this year healthy, and we're going to do with that, whatever that looks like and takes.
And does that mean not necessarily opening day? Are we all?
I think it's too early to say right now. It's up in the air right now. I know that term's used a lot, but like I said, there's one goal I have this year, and that's to be healthy.
For the record, that was a full 3-second pause before he said it's up in the air right now.
Audio courtesy of Adam McKelvey there. So, Josh.
So I guess I'm taking it back on a Take Back Tuesday of, feeling confident that Miz he doesn't have to be the guy yet. Because we gave Brandon Woodruff a bunch of money, whole lot of money, to come back for a 1-year deal, right? Because he's good now. He's good. Right? He's good, right?
How do you feel about that? He may not be good quite yet, but he is at least throwing and healthy as the season begins here in spring training. So
he threw 25 pitches, live pitches.
Awesome. Love that for him. Love that for us. So how do you feel about potentially rushing, keyword here, him back for opening day versus, you know what, Woody might be at his best in May?
So, and that was the thing that Woody said, right? He said, the most important thing is that I am ready and available when the games matter the most, down the stretch. And he's saying that because it's been a few years since he's been available when we need him in the postseason, and we've had to battle without him. My concern is I didn't think this was still a thing. I didn't think we were still at the point to where we had to worry about this. This doesn't seem to be a conversation about, hey, with where things are at, I might just have to not go as hard at the beginning of the year because I want to make sure that I'm still primed and ready to go at the end of the year. This is, we're taking it easy because we're being cautious.
Well,
of what?
Well, based on history, I think they're simply using Mickey Mouse's big white puffy gloves when they handle Brandon Woodruff. Slow down, Woody. Everything's going to be fine.
I don't know. I don't know that I'm on board with that. I thought it was set in stone that we were going to have Woody on opening day. Listen, he's right. They play 162 of these games. it is way more important to me that we have Woody locked in on the back end of the season. Absolutely. However, we got rid of Fastball Freddie. We traded Freddie, right? Because we said we couldn't hold on to him and we couldn't pay him $8 million because we needed to get something for him. And yet we paid Brandon Woodruff how much money? Was it $20 million?
22?
$22 million?
More plus the guarantee and the new cut. Yeah, it was a lot.
For 1 year. For 1 year, because we said, hey, we're going to have Woody back and he's going to be able to go. Did we pay $25 million for half a season, Brandon Woodruff? That's not a topic that we should just be blowing by. That's a huge deal.
Well, let's be a realist. It's not opening day.
Again, I don't need him to pitch on opening day. I'm eating my words on a Take Back Tuesday, saying that I didn't think I had to worry about Miz being that guy on opening day. I don't need Woody to be out there on opening day, but I need him to be able to pitch more than half a season.
So real quick, because maybe you'll get to take this back next week, Tuesday. What are you taking back, and what is your new hot take?
Well, I don't know. I'm taking back the idea of just saying, well, I'm confident that Woody's going to be the opening day starter. So let's talk about if the Miz is that guy going forward. Because now it might not be the case. You might see Miz on the mound on opening day. And that was not something that I had planned. I thought for sure it was going to be Woody. Taking that back.
Okay. What are you hot taking now?
I don't know. I'm hot taking that. Now I'm worried I'm not going to see Woody for the first month of baseball. I don't like that.
But are you okay with him being available at the end of the season for a playoff push?
Well, why does it have to be one or the other? Why did we pay him all this money to not be available for the whole season? We paid him money that we beg Atanasio to spend for half a season. Woodruff? No, I'm not okay with that.
That's pessimism. It's not half a season. It's 4 games into spring training. Keep your pants on.
Well, health is the most important. Woody, I need you to pitch. I need you to pitch a lot. I need you to pitch many games, please.
Later in the season. Best if it's late.
All of the season, including the back half of the season and the postseason.
What about Malik Willis? Where's he going to play next season? There's a list that came out of the top 100 NFL free agents, and looky there, who's on top of the list.
You mean like
Packers,
top 10?
Backup quarterback Malik Willis.
You mean he's in the top 10?
He's the number 1 free agent in all of the NFL. Number 1. So where does he go, and how do we feel about that? Boy, we got Josh Gooden wound up. This is fun.
Yeah, now my Apple Watch is asking if I'm okay. Now I'm fired up.
We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Stay here. We're having fun.
Yeah.
I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, it's great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up, I'm home. Whoa!
135 yards. Put it in the air this time. It is through there to Wicks and a touchdown. Willis threads it through for his first NFL strike and a touchdown.
Yeah, he was pretty good this past year, Malik Willis.
Yatter, hey.
Inside Wisconsin Sports, Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht.
Hi.
Live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Was that a Jim Nantz audio piece by chance?
No, that was Fox. That was Fox on the call. Not
courtesy
CBS.
of our friend Lily Zhao at Fox 6, who posted that earlier in the year of Malik Willis doing really great things for the Green Bay Packers, which leads us to our next topic of conversation. There was quite the list of Rosenthal's top 101 NFL free agents of 2026. And he goes on to say, Greg Rosenthal does, who are the best players available? And you scroll down and listen, there's 101 names.
101.
Mr. Irrelevant, Jadeveon Clowney, age 33. He's an edge rusher. No one has earned his role as Mr. 101 more convincingly than Clowney. Who? Exactly.
Hey, I'm sure the number one has to be the Super Bowl MVP, right? You got to look at Kenneth Walker. He's got to be up there, right? Number 10.
5, 6, yeah.
Number 10.
Oh, number 1. Malik Willis.
Oh, good.
So Malik Willis, according to Greg Rosenthal, is, quote, the most dynamic quarterback in football as a runner, and his tape in Green Bay showed incredible growth as a passer over his 2 years with Matt LaFleur. Despite his limited sample size, Willis jumped to the top spot in this ranking based on the same logic that applies to the NFL draft. If a potential franchise quarterback is good enough to be ranked in the top 5 of a list like this, then he should be placed first. The ceiling is the roof. So do we really think Malik Willis is the number 1 free agent prospect in all of NFL? And that got me thinking about, has this A, happened before? And B, have we ever landed in Green Bay, outside of Reggie White, the number 1 available prospect?
Right, because remember, the Micah Parsons, like he was traded. He was not a free agent. It was not a signing. That was a trade. So Micah does not count. And this is the time, because we heard this a lot during the season about, hey, I'm Team Malik against Team Jordan Love. I'm on the Malik Willis train. And we went, okay, everyone's got to stop that. Malik is not better than Jordan Love. Now, Jordan Love is also not on this list. So this is not a situation where you can say, right. So it's not a situation where you could say, well, they ranked Malik Willis higher than Jordan Love. However, I don't remember a time where we had a number 1 free agent that was this young, right? There have been plenty of times where the Packers have let guys go, and we as fans, the fan base gets frustrated, and we go, oh, I can't believe they're letting that guy go. And then usually it ends up they get signed for a lot more money to a different team. They make a bunch of money, but then they kind of flame out. And we all look back and we go, all right, it was probably a good idea that the Packers moved on at that time. That's not what this is. This is a super young, talented quarterback that the Packers are kind of in a position of just not being able to hold on to, right? Like they have a guy. They can't have 2 guys. They have their guy. But it's weird. Still a weird feeling.
you watch the Packers draft a quarterback this year?
Well, yeah, they need a new backup.
Yep.
For Jordan Love, absolutely. But Malik Willis is not a backup.
No, he should be a starter. And remember, he was drafted to be one and flamed out in Nashville. That's ultimately why Goody went and traded for him, which, by the way, this might prove that is the single-handedly greatest pickup in free agency in Brian Gutekunst's tenure so far. There's been a few. This isn't the first. I mean, Josh Jacobs was a free agent that we landed at the exact same time we were moving on from, by the way, then free agent Aaron Jones.
Mm-hmm.
People forget that the Packers sign free agents, and sometimes they just happen to be here. Another key name in the last few years, Xavier McKinney, major free agent, a rare modern home run, if you will, for Green Bay. And we've had a few of those over the years, but do we see value in any of these other guys on this list? When a lot of these names came out, specifically George Pickens, he was one that got thrown out there of going, maybe we can get George Pickens. Do we need George Pickens, though, is the question. And does he make the Packers that much better, that much quicker? Like some of these other people that we have picked up over the years that made the Packers instantly better.
Sure.
Sean Jones. Who do we go and get that would be the yin to Micah Parsons yang in free agency?
Right. Well, and those are all, great points and things that you could analyze this list of free agents and try to look at it like the toy catalog, on Thanksgiving Day as you prepare for Christmas. But knowing that Malik is number one, and I'm literally going to ask the question and then duck, but is this fuel to the fire of people that said we should have kept Malik and not gone with Jordan Love? Is this fuel to the fire of people that have gone, listen, we've had Jordan Love long enough to see what we have from Jordan Love, or that look at this and go, we saw that Malik Willis works better in a Matt LaFleur system, and if the Packers are going to buy into Matt LaFleur, then they should have bought into Malik Willis? Or is this just best of luck to Malik Willis?
How could we possibly afford Malik Willis? Are you saying either or should we have kept both?
Well, we couldn't have kept both, right?
So you're saying, is there a conversation?
I'm saying there were people during the season that blamed Jordan Love, that said that Jordan Love wasn't improving enough. We literally just talked about this, like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, about how, what else does Jordan Love have to do to get the respect? And is he not given more time, right? That's what started the whole prime, not prime, peak conversation that we had that so many people enjoyed. But a lot of people had said Malik is the answer.
That still comes up in my life, by the way.
Oh, 100%.
Literal, just everyday conversation.
Yep. Anytime anyone says the word prime or peak.
Peaked or primed?
Yep, 100%.
By the way, correction real quick. Somebody said we traded for Malik Willis. You're right. I said free agent. I meant trade. And I believe the argument was with Josh and I, ironically, during the season, that although, yes, Micah Parsons was incredible, one could argue at that point that Malik Willis was the best pickup in Goody's tenure. I digress. That's not the argument today.
No, the argument is as a Packer fan, how does this, I want to know if this makes anyone feel anything besides just going, yeah, we lost our backup QB. Knowing that we had a quarterback in Green Bay in a backup position who is being told that we're being told is going to get $30 to $35 million a year from some team, be the face of their franchise, and is the number one free agent in all of the NFL. Does that have any Packer fans going, the Packers didn't make a mistake, right? Like one of those to where you stop for a second and you go, hold on a minute. Did we do something wrong? Wait, no, I don't think we did. But why does everyone else want him so bad? Should we have? I'm wondering if there's any feelings that go along with this, because it's a new feeling. I can't tell you the last time we had a young person that has had very little experience in the league, shown a ton of promise, and gone, yep, sorry, have fun, see you later.
Well, Matt Flynn did this under Aaron Rodgers, went to Seattle, completely flaked out, and is now sitting on a pile of cash that the Seahawks paid him for the tape he put together while he was here backing up Rodgers. So this isn't the first time where we've had a backup quarterback play well and move on and play well. Brunell is another one. Hasselback is another one from back in the day. It's just the first time it's certainly happened in the Jordan Love era where we have a guy here that's going, oh, boy.
Yeah, but when Flynn was there, and I mean, I don't know, we don't have this available, but like, was he being touted as a number one QB, like in the league?
Yeah,
Free
I
agent?
don't remember the rank in terms of like where he ranked in a list like this, but he signed with Seattle for a lot of bills.
Yeah, that's true.
And I believe to this day holds the Green Bay Packers single game record for most touchdowns in one game, 6.
Yeah, I believe so.
Is that right?
Going to the Nicolay Law fan talking text line here. The 906 says, no, absolutely no one knows how good Malik will be as a starter. So it's true. There is risk, right? There is
Don't
risk.
you think we know, though? I mean, it's not like he didn't start for the Packers over the last few seasons.
That's true.
We've got a pretty good idea of what he looks like as a starter.
But to that point, the 920 in rebuttal says, Willis had success because he came in games where teams didn't have to game plan or scout for him. How many of those games that he started was it like for sure said Love isn't playing the week ahead of time?
2 last year for sure.
But
it was week 2 and week 3, including one at Nashville.
Wasn't it only one of those weeks? It was, we don't know for sure. Like Matt LaFleur didn't give us that information until later in the week. And then they announced, it's going to be Malik as a starter. So you got to kind of game plan for both.
It was probably one this year though, for sure. Right. So where does he land, Josh?
Well, funny you say that. 912 says my money is on LaFleur's brother. That'll sign Willis and get the push from his brother to do so. So does he go play for another LaFleur? Does he go to Miami and hang out with Halfley?
There's a third team.
What's that?
I agree. The Cardinals are 1.
Yep.
Miami is like 1B. And I think a real close 1C is going to be Minnesota.
Ooh, don't like that one out of those 3.
I know.
Yeah.
But they, according to Matt LaFleur, to Brad Davison,
yep,
have quite the quarterback problem.
They
up
sure
there.
do. I also saw people talking about, there's still this discussion of if Aaron Rodgers comes back and plays for the Steelers, and if you had Malik Willis out there, why would you try to do one more year when you're bringing in a new head coach in Aaron Rodgers when you could get a new face of the franchise in Malik Willis?
And then I even saw somebody say, well, how great would it be to have Malik Willis under Aaron Rodgers for a year? Which I was like, well, I don't know. Would it be great for 1 year?
Ziggy says, I have no feelings about Malik getting $35 million from another team. I'm happy for him and glad he helped us when Jordan was hurt. But Jordan is the guy, future MVP and Super Bowl champion.
Bam, mic drop, Ziggy.
Sure hope you're right, bud.
All right, when we come back, we have to go through a list. Our favorite sports video games from yesteryear. So in case you missed it on Twitter, the Brewers social media team, by the way, like not even a golf clap, just incredible work, turning Sal Frelick into a video game player. And they followed him around and literally made it seem like it was a point of view as if you were playing, was it MLB The Show? Something along those lines.
No, I think it was like a GTA, like a Grand Theft Auto. Like he was a playable character that you could move to walk through doors and go through the locker room. It was very
Look it
cool.
up if you haven't seen it. We'll share it to our socials here at On Air Josh, at Trevor Thomas IW if you haven't seen it already. It's really impressive work. And that got Josh and I thinking, if you could go back and do another retro piece like this from a sports game of yesteryear, which one would you pick? What were some of your favorite sports games that you played when you were a kid? We're going to find out the generational gaps that are currently listening to Inside Wisconsin Sports, because my mind goes immediately to the 80s and 90s. I have a bad feeling there's going to be some 2010ers in here, and I'm going to have no idea what they're talking about.
Oh, yeah, this will be fun.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line. What are your favorite sports video games from when you were a kid? We'll do that next, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. If somebody doesn't say NBA Jam, I swear to God.
Hi, this is Ken Griffey Jr. Let's play Major League Baseball. It's showtime. Call me Junior. Call me Junior. Call me Junior.
Ken Griffey Jr. Dude, nobody could wear a hat backwards like Ken Griffey Jr.
True.
Seriously. This is a good one to start the conversation of our favorite sports video games from when we were a kid. Inside Wisconsin Sports, Trevor and Josh, and your messages are pouring in. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line. The conversation stems from the Milwaukee Brewers creating a video-like game tweet for Sal Frelick in whether it was Grand Theft Auto, but long story short, he was a player that you could choose. Video editing is hard.
Yes.
And it takes a long time. And although AI has come a long way, it can't do what this video did. Go and look it up at Brewers on Twitter and or social media in general. And it shows you that this took us back and went, what were some of our favorite games growing up? So we did our best to pull some audio, as you heard there, from Josh pulling Ken Griffey Jr.'s baseball game. What are some other ones, Josh, that when you saw the topic, you were like, oh, got to play this. Definitely nailed this.
Yeah. So there were just a bunch. NBA Jam, for sure, is up there. I mean, just hearing, you didn't even need the audio that loud, but just. Yeah, just like that being way too loud, and mom saying, turn that down. Was everything. He
wasn't even on fire yet.
Right. I actually got the opportunity to at a Comic-Con, got to meet Tim Kitzrow, who's the voice of NBA Jam. He's the guy who did the voice of saying he's on fire, and he also did the audio for NFL Blitz. Did you ever play NFL Blitz? It might have been.
Not off the top of my head. I don't think. No.
So that was also like an arcade game that you would find in whatever arcades, but that they made for like the PlayStation and the N64, which was my favorite gaming console, was the Nintendo 64. But he did that too, where literally you would tackle and just pile drive players after the plays, and it was completely obnoxious.
There's the popular ones that you would expect. They're right on time. I just got a text that said NFL Blitz.
Yep, there you go.
There you go. The most popular, of course, Tecmo Bowl or Super Tecmo Bowl. Nothing like it. So many times we would skip past these intros too back then with no patience. Let's get to the game. Now we listen to that. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. It takes you back, man.
I love it. I would play this right now. And I would wipe the floor with any of you. I just want to make that perfectly clear.
You wouldn't stand a chance.
Unless you figured out how to tackle me in the backfield, because I picked the same play every single play. And you have Lawrence Taylor on the Giants. But I think that was Tecmo Bowl, not necessarily Tecmo Super Bowl. But we're spanning the generations, as I thought we might. There are many people in here that are like Madden 2007 on PlayStation 2.
Okay. This is a big conversation, right? Madden itself, obviously iconic. But I feel like everyone has their year. For me, it's Madden 2004. 2004 with Vic on the cover, Michael Vick on the cover. I don't know what it was, but the juke and the spin move that they gave the players access to in that year was nasty. I mean, any of those guys could just stop on a dime and just and it made just running the ball so much more fun. Totally 2004 for me.
Madden 96 sticks out in my head for some reason. I don't know why, but what was the first year you could build your own franchise in Madden? Do you remember that when you were like, you could try out players and do almost like a combine type of thing? I spent way too much time trying to build the best player for my team that didn't exist.
It looks like franchise mode in Madden was 99 was the first one.
Okay. Way too much time on that. Not going to get those years back in my high school days. Here we go. Dave in Brookfield. Not sure if mine were sports, but Tubin, Paperboy, Excite Bike. I think Excite Bike's a sport. Is Mario Kart a sport game?
Ooh.
Is it racing? Does that qualify? Because if it does, I'm screwed. I don't care about any other game ever.
Yeah, Mario
I've never
Kart was
even
the
once
one.
considered Mario Kart to be a sport game, but if it is, I just played Mario Kart the other night on PlayStation 5.
No.
Whatever my son has.
Switch.
So many. Maybe it was
Nintendo Switch?
It was the next. No, it was on a TV. Whether it was.
Yeah.
Listen to me.
Nintendo
you can't put
Switch can be on
TV.
on TV.
Leave me alone. I said that as soon as I said it. I was
Okay.
like, crap, screwed.
I was going to say, Mario's not on a Sony product.
What was it on then? There's no way.
Switch.
No. I don't think it was Mario Kart. I just think it was a racing game in general.
Oh.
I don't know, dude. I don't play these games anymore.
You know what? I don't even know that I was playing. I might have just been watching a video.
Turned out it was in the middle of the night. I thought I was playing a game.
Turns out I was sleeping.
My wife in the middle of the freaking night last night, sidebar, squirrel.
Okay, here we go.
Like stood up in bed and was stretching her back in the middle of the night.
Oh.
Scared the hell out of me. I'm like, what are you doing? I was just stretching my back. For what? In the middle of the night. Sorry, just had to get off the chest.
I'm looking here at Jeremy in Two Rivers, Trivers, who says Mike Tyson's Punch Out, classic.
Yeah. Eat your heart out, Jason, in the 920. You sucked at this.
I feel like everyone played Punch Out. Like it didn't matter.
Did you ever beat it, though? Did you ever beat
I don't think
Tyson?
so. I think I gave up, honestly. I think I moved on to different games.
I just like beating the hell out of that blonde guy in the beginning.
Yeah, it's super fun when it's not, when it doesn't get to like the impossible level.
Man, the sounds of this
I know.
just take you
Yeah,
back.
they're the best.
First ones that come to mind here, Double Dribble, Tecmo Bowl, Blades of Steel, and Bill Elliott's NASCAR Challenge. Oh. Trevor and Josh, my favorite sports video games of all time by far, PGA Tour Golf 2.
Okay, let's
on
go.
Sega.
Tiger Woods, when EA Sports got a hold of Tiger Woods and put that golf game together, completely changed. It got me back into golf, like being able to do that. And then you had the Tiger Vision where you had a putt that was like 150 feet, but you could use the Tiger Vision and it would line it up for you. That was awesome. Absolutely loved Tiger Woods PGA Golf.
Brad says the old NCAA football games were really good. Back then, you actually had to earn getting your school promoted to other conferences, and you would get denied by major schools if your small college team was trying to get a tougher schedule. Oh, you mean the NCAA games that ruined all of college sports for the rest of time?
Yeah,
those ones?
Those.
That's what started it.
There was such a following for those games, for the NCAA football. Like, I knew people that would that held on to their Xbox so that they could continue to play NCAA football 13 or 14, even though it had been obsolete for 7-8 years. Didn't matter.
Scotty Tiffany, was Pong a sports video game? I mean,
No.
she says it is. You sure?
Yes. No.
That was Atari, right?
Yeah. Sorry, Sky Tiffany. I don't.
Jeez, yeah, that was really fast. You didn't even think about it.
I'm not counting Pong.
What about 1080? Nintendo 64.
Yeah, the snowboarding. Game? That was the last game, by the way. Fun fact. That was the last game ever made for the Nintendo 64. Yeah, I count that as a sports game, snowboarding.
I think I did a 1080 one time. Man, did I was
Oh,
it was,
in the
I only
game.
did what's that?
In the game.
Well, so you could either play the game or you could just go off this giant jump and do how many tricks you could do in the air. In the game. Are you kidding me?
Well, when you said, listen, I don't know. I thought like the way you said that made it seem like maybe once you tried snowboarding. I don't know.
And then I woke up.
Yeah. yeah. You're waking up a lot in this segment.
Injury prone enough. I love the baseball games that we all grew up with. One of my favorites was RBI baseball.
Yep. RBI baseball was a good one.
Yeah. Oh, there's nothing like it. Jeez. Does anybody else picture where they were sitting when they were playing these games? Like, I go right back to exactly where I was sitting at my kitchen table in my first childhood home, playing on a TV that was smaller than the size of this computer monitor I'm looking at. and just loving life.
Oh, I was on the ground or on like a beanbag chair, just in the worst possible positions you could be in, sitting for hours and hours.
There was another baseball game too. I remember Roger Clemens baseball. Was it MVP baseball?
Mm-hmm.
Roger Clemens
MVP. Yep.
My favorite part of this intro was when they jumped to the national anthem, and it stopped me in my tracks every time. You got to pick the players. You got to pick your division. Who you going with? Where are you going to play? And then as soon as you hit, all right, I'm ready, and jumped into the game before the game, you had to make sure that you took a moment and you stood up off your chair and you just made sure that you took in the national anthem.
Yeah.
Before the worst graphics video game ever. Oh, here we go. There. Told you. Pause. Okay, now we can play.
Many people bringing up Tony Hawk Pro Skater, which literally I cannot tell you the amount of days that I spent playing that game. I got so good at the start reset combination of just hitting pause, hitting reset, run, because you would have to do these tasks of, I had to grind on this part of the mall if I was going to get the high score videotape, whatever that I had to do. And to where like I would have to just restart 5 seconds in, nope, restart 5 seconds in, nope, restart. And then before I know it, oh, it's 1 a.m. and I am 11 years old. I should go to bed.
What
Take me back.
There was one other one I was just thinking of. I read something from Jason. GoldenEye. Oh, shooting game. So GoldenEye.
GoldenEye is not a sport game.
Well, he said shooting is a sport. Not quite like that, though.
No.
What about Duck Hunt?
I mean, I played Duck Hunt.
That's a sport.
Okay.
You don't think so?
I don't know that I could. I don't know. I guess hunting. Yeah, I guess.
Well, okay. So then sports and games were all a thing with a trackpad and the A, B button, and then the X, Y, Zs came out, and then the PlayStations with the button. I literally played video games the other night. That racing game I was telling you about with Riker. No, why do you need so many buttons on a why? You all excited I was when I could hold down the B and the A at the same time and make Mario run fast and jump? Yeah. Now there's like 19 buttons on these things.
Right.
For what?
Because now it's different. Now it needs to be even more. Have you played MLB The Show? Did you ever get into the show?
No.
I loved MLB The Show, especially in that 2007, 2008 range when they were recognizing the Brewers and the power that they had. And it was the first time that I remember playing a baseball game and I could be the Brewers because the game awarded me. They rewarded me for being the Brewers. Usually it was, I want to be my team. Oh, your team sucks, but all right. Yep. Have your little guys go out there and in the blue and yellow. Have fun.
A couple of people here talk about this trackpad that you threw on the floor and that you ran on. Did you have one of those?
No.
Me neither.
I didn't have a trackpad.
I thought the whole point of playing video games was to not have to actually run.
Right. I mean, there was like the Dance Dance Revolution pads. I mean, I didn't do that, but that's still big. Like you go to arcades, there's still people that go there in their shorts and sweatbands and they sweat it up, get a workout playing Dance Dance Revolution.
Do remember begging my parents to get me I'll teach you how to be karate from the Power Rangers back in the day. Definitely had that.
Man, I'd love to have seen that, Trevor.
Jeff from Luxembourg. In 3rd grade, greatest Christmas gift of all time for me getting a Super Nintendo, a 13-inch TV with a remote, shocker, in my bedroom.
Oh,
and I played Mario Kart and Madden and NBA Jam until my eyes bled.
Yeah. Yes. That is
so
correct.
Then a new system comes out that actually tracks your ability to swing a golf club or a baseball bat or bowl. Wii Sports.
Oh, yeah.
Changed all of it for me.
Yeah. I mean, and the funny thing is that they create the system in the Nintendo Wii, and everyone is just playing Wii Sports. Like everyone. It's like, hey, there are other games on the system. You can play Madden on the Wii, and you can act like you can throw the ball. People are like, nah, we're going to go back to playing Wii Sports.
I want to play this home run derby or try to knock down 1,000 pins in bowling at one time.
Yeah, right. Literally
by
got
the
to
way,
the point in which nursing homes, it was like, hey, and now we have Wii bowling night. Yay.
Wii tennis, Wii Sports tennis, which I got really good at. This is dumb. And then did you know in the bowling in like there's these other games that you can play instead of just do you know what I'm talking about?
I know
How do you
about
get them all?
everything you're saying.
How do you get them all?
You ride the
knocked
rail,
out?
baby.
You know how hard that is.
Ride the rail, click
You
and
want
boom.
to talk about the reset button.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Listen, do you have any idea how many people would look at me when the Wii was popular and went, I bet you're so good at Wii bowling? And I was not good at Wii bowling because it was a video game and it was made for people that didn't actually bowl. And so I had friends that would bowl better than me at Wii bowling and be like, I didn't know I was a better bowler than you. And I'm like, you're not. This is a video game.
But dude, you had to figure out like you could spin the ball on Wii bowling, and then you got the different bowling balls.
Yes.
You're like, oh look at me.
Shout out to my buddy John Taylor that I do my podcast, Don't Tell Me How to Fan, which you can hear, by the way, on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network on Saturdays, who got a 300 on my Nintendo Wii and still never lets me forget it. All the time. He'll be like, hey, Josh, you're really good at bowling. Have you gotten a 300 on your Nintendo Wii? No, John. Oh, has anyone? Yes, John, you have. Oh, that's right. I did. To this day, still throws it in my face.
The 262 says controlling the ducks while your friend was trying to shoot them was the best.
And duck hunt. Yeah.
Moving them around.
Yep.
These are great. Look at them keep flying in. Ah, yes. Nostalgia for the win.
You think Rami played or Kuhn played video games?
Who do we got today? Rami or Kuhn?
Well, I think we got Kuhn today. I bet Rami did. I bet that Kuhn didn't.
You don't think so?
No, I bet that Kuhn was too busy, like playing actual football.
Lifting weights and stuff.
doing things to be a
all the
competitive
things
athlete.
that all the kids were doing that didn't become professional sports.
Correct.
Athletes.
Which has changed, though. Which has changed. Now so many professional athletes are into gaming.
So typically we don't think he listens at this point. He just comes on. So what is your official, did John Kuhn? I think he did. I don't think you can be a kid in sports and not play some sort of sporting game. But let's do the math on this. He's a little bit younger than me and a little bit older than you, I think.
I'm sure that he's played them.
What was his game though?
I bet he loved Punch Out. Everyone loved Punch Out.
You're gonna go with Punch Out? I'm gonna go with Madden.
Well, that's
I think
the
John
easy
Kuhn's
answer.
a Madden guy.
Okay.
Well, you had your choice. I let you pick first.
All right, fair.
You picked Punch Out.
Yeah, I did.
All right. When we come back, we'll ask him. John Kuhn joins us from 9 to noon with John Kuhn and Rami Makloff as we head towards the top of the hour live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. What's that?
Oh, this is Tony Hawk Pro Skater. You didn't know? You're
Nailed
playing it right now.
Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Reminder, Wisconsin, if you missed any portion of today's show or any show for that matter, head to wisportsradio.com or open your favorite podcast platform and just search Inside Wisconsin Sports. Will pop up, and you can go to any segment, any hour, anything, whenever it works best for you, and don't miss a minute of Inside Wisconsin Sports. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht, and John Kuhn of 9 to Noon joins us now to continue the conversation about the best sporting games of yesteryear. So, John, in the break, or right before the break, Josh and I said, I wonder if John even played sports games, video system when he was growing up. And if so, what did he play? Josh and I both have a guess.
Mm-hmm.
What sport game did you play on what system?
First, did you play video games?
Oh, you had to have.
Did I grow up in the 90s?
Okay.
John?
All right. Good. All right. What was your game?
Well, the game for the majority of my childhood was obviously Tecmo Bowl and Super Tecmo Bowl. I mean, that was the bomb. That was the game. NBA Jam, right? That was really good for a while. I would say those two dominated my video game as far as sports go, stratosphere for the vast majority of my childhood. I mean, Tecmo Bowl was everything. You get that guy across from the center and you do that little dive, and sack the quarterback because you got that little cheat code. Like that, I got many little tips and secrets on how to play Tecmo Bowl.
Man, I love that. Also, neither of us, right? I said Mike Tyson's Punch-Out just because I felt like everyone played Punch-Out.
That was so good.
Okay, so you played
That's
Punch-Out.
another one. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, learning the different ways to knock the guys out and the different combinations of punches that you had to use with the dodges and the ducks and Glass Joe and all the other guys that you fought through. That was fantastic.
I picked Madden. Did you ever get into the Madden games when they came out in the mid to late 90s?
Yeah, and they were fine, but nothing quite hit it like Tecmo Bowl. Tecmo Bowl was, because it was still so video game-esque. And now the closer the games get to reality, like the more realistic they get, you almost nitpick every little problem that they have wrong. What was fun about Tecmo Bowl was it was football, but it was still video game, right? You could take the guy and you could run for 150 yards with him on a single play. You run all the way down the goal line, run all the way backwards, make people miss, run all the way back down to the goal line. You get Bo Jackson or Walter Payton, it's over.
Yeah, those are the two.
Yeah, that
Bo
was
Jackson,
it.
and then on the defensive side, it was LT and the Giants.
Even Family Guy pointed that out, Kuhn, of having him run all the way back.
All the way back.
When was the last time you played a video game, John?
Well, my kids have the Nintendo Switches.
Okay.
So I get on Mario Kart with them quite a bit. Well, is that a sports game? Is Mario
Yes,
Kart
that was the question. We asked, can you count Mario Kart as a sports game?
I mean, if we count Mario Kart, now that's way up there. So you guys asked about Madden. When Madden got big, I just made the switch from Madden to FIFA. Now, when all the sports consoles were getting, super graphic and really, into FIFA dominated NFL locker rooms.
That's what I was about to ask next. Which one did you guys play in the locker room, and what system was it on?
It didn't matter. We had Xbox, we had PlayStation, we had all the big systems, but FIFA was the game. FIFA and there was Super Smash Brothers, believe it or not.
Yes.
FIFA and Super Smash Brothers, those were the two biggest games in the locker room.
See, now this is difficult for me, John, because I've been telling myself the reason why I didn't become an NFL player and Super Bowl champion was because I was busy playing video games while you were busy actually playing football. And I thought, okay, I'll give him a pass. He played sports video games. Now you start telling me you're playing Super Smash Brothers and some non-sports video games too. And now I'm out of excuses. Now I don't. How are you also playing video games and not just even sports video games, but stuff like Super Smash Brothers too, which I would love to have like a Super Smash Brothers tournament. Like I would take on any of you.
Pikachu.
I got combos ready to go.
Yeah, me too.
Let's go.
I got the lightning coming from the sky. I could do it all.
This would be a thing.
I grew up.
I never
playing
understood the people that used Kirby though, because he was so slow. But
because they have one move. Kirby has one move. It's just the drop move. That's it.
But if you use Kirby the right way, like the people that were good with Kirby, they were unstoppable. And it was so unfair. It was like he just floated in the air and you could not get him. You could not take him down. The people that were really good with Kirby.
Yeah.
You guys ever play video games with your grandparents?
Grandparents?
I used to when I was a kid. My grandma and grandpa had a Super Nintendo, and they had the Dr. Mario Tetris half and half game where you would have to do both. We used to play that all the time.
We got my grandparents a Nintendo, but it wasn't the one where you put the cartridge in the front. It was later years where you click it in from the
Super
top.
Nintendo. Yeah,
Super Nintendo.
Was that a suit? No, I think that was regular
that was
Nintendo.
No.
No.
I never saw a regular Nintendo with the game on the top.
They made them. I
wouldn't
remember
even
it like
trust
yesterday.
that one. I wouldn't even trust that. Where did you buy that?
That's a
Did you
knockoff
buy that
system.
from Audi or TJ Maxx? Where did you buy that?
Yeah.
We would play after lunch all the time, my grandparents in the summer. And you would be playing against my grandma, watching the screen. I had my controller. She was sitting behind me at the kitchen table. And all of a sudden, Mario would
you didn't
stop running. Turn around, she's passed out, falling asleep playing Nintendo.
You didn't play Nintendo. You played like 910D and with Mario and Tetris. and
knockoff brand. Look it up. I was just in one of the stores the other day, and they still sell them. I mean, they're retro now.
Yeah, but they're not the original. The Nintendo, the original
evolve.
Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES.
Look
you
it
put
up.
it in the front.
Yeah, until
Super
they came out
Nintendo,
with
you
one
put
that
it
you
in
put
the top, and you had to blow on the dick.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Nintendo in the top.
Stop the show. Stop the show.
Nintendo's. Oh, that's not a Switch.
Oh.
I'm telling
you. I don't think you're going to find it.
That is crap. I remember it like yesterday.
It's right now in Trevor's life is when he's finding out that his parents got the cheap knockoff version of the Nintendo Entertainment.
That would suck. I'm having bad things happen to me. John, what's coming up in the next show? I got to Google this.
We're going to get into the Packers season ticket holder kind of message that they sent out there about selling your season tickets. Do the Packers have a home field problem? Is that why they're doing it? Projections out for the Brewers. Why are the projections always so low year over year? And then we got Tim Allen, the franchise, coming on at 10 o'clock to talk about some of those projections with us.
Found it. Nintendo Entertainment style new system top loader. I can buy one right now for $200.
Of course you can buy it now.
$200 now?
Yeah. Oh, the actual system itself is even more, I think, if it's in mint condition. But yeah, it did have a little bit of an upgraded controller, it appears, and the cartridge went in the top. But I'm telling you, this is a legit Nintendo.
No, I'm not buying. What's the name of it?
It says new style NES top loader. Classic Game Junkie has one for sale right now for $199.
See, I wouldn't even trust that. When you had Nintendo,
100%.
you had to blow on the cartridge, you had to slide it 9/10 of the way through, and then when you put it down, it had to click. Like you had to like, catch it. You had to catch it on the opening so that when it went in, it like shoved in
100%.
when you pushed it down. That was the only way to do it.
And then you held your breath for 3 seconds until it went on, and you went, okay, hey, we got it. All right, let's go.
Oh man, that is absolutely where it was at. All right, John, we'll stay tuned for 9 to noon with those topics and more. Rami Makloff, John Kuhn, Brandon Snide coming up next here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Thanks for all the feedback today. I mean, the conversations were fantastic. And Josh, you know when we're getting it right when the Nicolay Law talk and text line blows up the way it did today. 414-677-1250. We really appreciate you guys listening statewide here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. You just never know who's listening.
Yeah.
I'm going to just keep it at that for now. I've got to respond to an email here from a particular building in Green Bay that was listening to our conversation earlier about the ticket piece.
Oh, good. Hopefully they tune in tomorrow, too.
Provide some clarity. I'm going to ask him if they want to come on. We'll see if that happens. All right. Live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. We'll see you tomorrow.
Because we're not done yet.